Welcome to my channel. Tonight, we drift inward into the strange and beautiful landscape of personality. That quiet constellation of traits, memories, and emotions that makes you utterly and uniquely you. Personality is the fingerprint of the mind. Yet it shifts and shimmers like mist. It can be shaped by the genes of your ancestors or the pivotal moments of your existence. Somewhere within it lives our courage, our fears, our kindness, and the hidden patterns that guide the way we love, think, and see the world. Science is still uncovering how all these threads weave together. From molecules to memories. From thought to temperament. So tonight, we will wander through that inner cosmos, exploring what makes each of us so recognizably human, yet endlessly unique. Just breathe. Let your eyes grow heavy and let the wonder of the mind cradle your thoughts. Let's begin. Your personality is partly written in your DNA. Deep within your cells, quiet codes whisper hints of who you might become. Certain sequences influence how sensitive you are to reward, how quickly you recover from stress, and how you process the world around you. Think of your genes not as a rigid blueprint, but as a soft musical score. One that has been handed down through generations, waiting for the instrument of your life to play its notes. You are a continuation of a story that began long before you took your first breath. A silent echo of those who came before you. Imagine the long chain of ancestors, stretching back through time, each passing down a tiny fragment of their resilience, their curiosity, or their caution. This biological inheritance forms your temperament, the very first layer of your personality. It is the soil in which your experiences are planted. Some of us are born with a nervous system that is like a finely tuned violin, sensitive to the slightest touch of the world. Others are like a sturdy drum, steady and rhythmic, unmoved by the passing storms. Neither is better, they are simply different ways of being, different ways of experiencing the vastness of life. As you lie here in the stillness, consider the dopamine in your brain, the chemical messenger of desire and motivation. The way your brain processes this molecule is deeply tied to your genes. It dictates whether you are someone who seeks out the thrill of the new, or someone who finds profound peace in the familiar. It is the reason why a quiet room can feel like a sanctuary to one person, while to another, it feels like a void. Your genes don't tell you what to do, but they set the tone of your inner world. They create the background hum of your consciousness. And yet, this is only the beginning of the story. Because your DNA is not a closed book. It is a living, breathing dialogue with the world around you. The experiences you have, the people you love, and the challenges you face all act as light and shadow upon your genetic landscape. They determine which parts of your code are whispered loudly and which parts remain in a deep, peaceful slumber. This is the grace of the human mind, its ability to grow, to soften, and to transform while remaining anchored to its original nature. As we reach the end of this first journey, remember that while your DNA provides the ink, you are the one holding the pen. You are a living landscape, shifting like the sea, shaped by time and light. Each breath you take is a tide drawing you a little deeper toward rest. Toward the silence where your true self resides. Everything is still now. Everything is at peace. Just rest. Let the story of your cells guide you into a dreamless sleep. You are safe, you are whole, and you are exactly who you were meant to be. From the silent whispers of your genetic code, we now drift a little deeper. We move toward the magnificent biological fortress where those codes come to life, into the vast and intricate architecture of the human brain. Imagine, if you will, a city of light, where billions of neurons spark like distant stars in a midnight sky. This is the physical home of your soul. The place where your character is sculpted and refined, moment by moment, breath by breath. Your brain is both the marble and the sculptor of who you are. As you lie here in the stillness, let your mind rest upon the prefrontal cortex, located just behind your forehead. This is the quiet conductor of your internal orchestra. It is the seat of your wisdom, your patience, and your ability to look toward the horizon of the future. When you choose kindness over impulse, or when you find the strength to stay calm in a storm, it is this part of your architecture that is glowing with a steady, peaceful light. It is the part of you that holds your values and your long-term dreams. Feel the tension leaving your brow as you acknowledge this center of balance. It is working even now, gently organizing your thoughts into a tapestry of peace. Deep within the center of this neural city lies the amygdala. Small, ancient, and ever watchful. It is the guardian of your emotions, the part of your personality that keeps you safe. It reacts to the world with a primal honesty, feeling the pulse of fear, excitement, and protection. Sometimes, this guardian is over-vigilant, casting shadows of anxiety over your landscape. But tonight, we greet this part of ourselves with compassion. We tell the guardian that the world is quiet now, that there is no need to watch the gates. The amygdala softens, its fiery light fading into a warm, gentle ember. The dialogue between your wisdom and your emotions becomes a harmonious hum. Consider the miraculous concept of neuroplasticity, the idea that your personality is not a mountain of unmoving rock, but a living, flowing river. Every time you learn a new way to breathe through a challenge, or every time you choose to see the beauty in a quiet moment, you are carving new paths in your brain. These neural pathways are like trails through a forest. The more you walk the path of peace, the wider and smoother that trail becomes. Your brain is constantly renewing itself, shedding old habits of thought like autumn leaves and making room for the fresh, green growth of a calmer self. You are never finished. You are a masterpiece in progress, shifting and softening with every sunset. Even as you drift closer to sleep, the synapses in your brain are dancing in a rhythmic, slow-motion grace. They are processing the day, tucking memories into their rightful places, and strengthening the bonds of who you are. The neural architecture is not just a collection of cells, but a symphony of connection. It is the way you bridge the gap between your inner world and the universe outside. Feel the immense complexity of this system, and let the sheer wonder of it lull you into a state of total surrender. The lights in the city of your mind are beginning to dim, one by one. The pathways are quiet. The conductor has laid down the baton, and the guardian has finally closed its eyes. There is only the soft, rhythmic pulsing of a system at rest. You are anchored in this biological sanctuary, safe within the walls of your own miraculous mind. Each breath is a wave of stillness washing over the neurons. Every cell is bathed in the tranquility of the present moment. Drift further now, away from the structures and into the space between the stars, deeper into the architecture of silence, into the deep rest you have earned. From the magnificent light city of your neural pathways, we drift back even further, into the mist of time where the days moved more slowly, into the quiet garden of your earliest years. This is where the foundation of your character was first laid down, in a world of soft sounds, gentle touches, and the discovery of the self. Your personality began as a series of echoes. A lullaby heard in the dark, the warmth of a hand held tight, the way the sunlight hit the floor of your first room. These moments, though they may seem distant, are the silent architects of the person you are today. Think of your early mind as a soft, receptive surface, like fresh snow waiting for the first footprints of experience. Science calls this the formation of attachment. The very first emotional bond that taught your nervous system whether the world was a place of safety or a place of caution. If you were met with consistency and warmth, a seed of security was planted deep within your subconscious. It became the internal compass that allows you to trust, to love, and to find peace in the presence of others. Feel that original sense of safety now, let it wrap around you like a heavy, familiar blanket. You are safe here, in the present, just as you were meant to be sheltered then. Every childhood experience left a delicate trace upon your temperament. Perhaps it was a specific scent of rain on hot pavement, or the rhythmic ticking of a grandfather clock, that first taught your mind how to find stillness. Or perhaps it was the way you were encouraged to explore, turning your natural curiosity into the trait of openness that you carry now. These are not just memories. They are the emotional grammar of your life. They dictate the quiet ways you react to a sudden sound or the way your heart softens when you see a certain color in the sky. These echoes are the threads that connect the child you were to the adult who is resting here tonight. Deep within the layers of your personality, that child still exists. It is the part of you that still wonders at the stars, the part that seeks comfort when the world grows too loud. Tonight, we acknowledge that inner self with a profound and silent kindness. We recognize that your resilience was born from the challenges of those early days, and your capacity for joy was sparked by the smallest discoveries. There is no need to analyze or to fix, simply observe the echoes as they ripple through your consciousness, growing softer and more rhythmic with every breath you take. As you settle deeper into the mattress, imagine those early years as a gentle tide receding into the ocean of your subconscious. They have left behind a shoreline rich with meaning and strength. The sounds of the past are fading into a peaceful hum, a background frequency that supports your current sense of self. The stories of once upon a time are now being replaced by the vast, wordless story of right now. You are the sum of every moment you have ever lived, yet you are free to rest in the total silence of this one. Let the weight of the years fall away. You are moving past the echoes and into the core of your being. The memories are safe, tucked away in the soft folds of your mind. The child is sleeping, and the adult is finding a deep, restorative grace. Everything is quiet. Everything is forgiven. The garden of the past is still, bathed in the silver light of a moon that watches over all stages of your life. Drift now, into the softest part of your history, into the cradle of sleep, where the only sound is the steady, peaceful rhythm of your heart. From the soft echoes of your past, we drift toward the most tranquil harbor of your present self, into the sheltered depths of your inner world. Tonight, we explore a space where silence is not an absence, but a profound and vital strength. For many, the world is not lived in the brightness of the outside, but within the vast and peaceful expanses of the mind. Introversion is not a retreat from the world, but a deep, rhythmic engagement with the self. It is the art of being complete within the stillness. Imagine your nervous system as a finely tuned instrument, exquisitely sensitive to the vibrations of life. In the study of the human mind, we find that introversion is often rooted in a high level of cortical arousal. This means that your brain is already naturally alert, already rich with internal activity. While the outside world seeks more stimulation, your mind finds its equilibrium in the quiet. It does not need the loud, the fast, or the bright to feel alive. Instead, it thrives on the subtle, the deep, and the meaningful. Feel the tension releasing from your shoulders as you embrace this biological grace. There is nothing to fix. Your need for quiet is simply your body seeking its own perfect harmony. In this inner sanctuary, we consider the science of how you recharge. While some draw energy from the crowd, your spirit finds its power in the solitary moment. Your dopamine pathways follow a different, more deliberate rhythm. You find your rewards in the internal world, in the beauty of a thought, the structure of a dream, or the peace of a book. This is the quiet battery of the soul. Every hour spent in reflection is a gentle current flowing back into your heart, mending the fatigue of the day. It is a restorative process that turns the silence into a fuel for your wisdom and your creativity. Observe the power of the observer. The introvert's gaze is one of depth, not speed. You are the one who hears the unspoken word, who notices the shifting shadows of the leaves, who feels the underlying pulse of a conversation. This depth of processing is a sanctuary for the mind. It allows you to transform raw experience into profound understanding. In the quiet, your personality expands. You are not limited by the expectations of the loud. You are liberated by the possibilities of the deep. Your presence is felt not through volume, but through the steady, calming weight of your being. As you settle further into the softness of the night, realize that you are never truly alone in your silence. Within that stillness lives an entire cosmos, a library of memories, a gallery of imagination, and a garden of peace that is uniquely yours. The outside world is fading now, its voice is becoming distant and irrelevant. The doors to your inner temple are open, and the air inside is cool and still. This is your home. This is where you are most powerful. This is where you are most yourself. Let the world carry on with its noise, it cannot reach you here. You are sinking into the core of your quiet strength. Your heart beats with a calm, steady certainty. Your thoughts are like slow-moving clouds, drifting across a vast and starlit sky. There is no pressure to speak, no need to perform, no requirement to be anything other than a silent witness to your own existence. You are safe in the depth. You are whole in the stillness. Everything is quiet now. Everything is exactly as it should be. Drift deeper into the sanctuary of the self, into the power of the quiet, into the endless peace of a dreamless sleep. From the quiet, sheltered harbor of the inner world, we now turn our gaze outward, toward the light, toward movement, and toward the warm glow of human connection. Tonight, we explore the radiant energy of the extroverted spirit. For some, the soul is not a hidden garden, but a vast, sun-drenched landscape that thrives on the presence of others. If introversion is a deep, solitary breath, extroversion is the rhythmic exhale that carries our voice into the world. It is the art of finding one's self through the reflection of the many. Imagine your mind not as a closed room, but as a house with many open windows, inviting the breeze and the bird song of the outside world to flow through. In the science of personality, we see that the extroverted brain possesses a unique and vibrant relationship with reward. It is a system built for engagement. Deep within the brain, the dopamine pathways are finely tuned to the excitement of the new and the social. For the extrovert, a shared laugh or a meaningful conversation acts like a gentle surge of light. It is a biological recharging, a way of drawing energy from the very air around us. Feel the warmth of that energy now, as if the memory of every kind word you've ever shared is bathing you in a soft, golden light. There is a beautiful, invisible architecture to our connections. When you interact with the world, your mirror neurons begin a silent, graceful dance. They allow you to feel the rhythm of another person's joy, the tone of their comfort, and the pulse of their energy. For the extroverted mind, this connection is a restorative sanctuary. It is the feeling of belonging to a greater whole, of being a single note in a grand, unfolding symphony. Even as you lie here in the silence, you can feel the residue of that social warmth, like the lingering heat of the sun on a stone after the day has ended. It is a reminder that you are part of the vast tapestry of humanity, always connected, never truly alone. Consider the world as an endless playground for the spirit. To the extroverted heart, every stranger is a story waiting to be told, and every challenge is an invitation to participate in the drama of life. This is the gift of outward-facing energy, the ability to bridge the gap between me and we. It is a courageous way of being, a willingness to be seen and to see in return. As you drift towards sleep, let the memories of your most vibrant interactions wash over you, the moments where you felt truly alive in the presence of others. Let those moments settle into your subconscious like bright stars in a darkening sky. Whether you find your strength in the silence or in the crowd, both paths lead toward the same peace tonight. The radiant energy of the day is slowly cooling now, transforming into a soft, embers-like glow. The world outside is growing dim, and the voices of the day are fading into a distant, melodic hum. You have engaged with the world, you have shared your light, and now it is time for that light to rest. The windows of the house are closing gently, one by one. But the warmth remains inside, tucked safely in the hearth of your heart. You are sinking now into a state of total, connected rest. The energy that moved through you during the day is now settling into a calm, steady tide. Your heart beats in harmony with the quiet rhythm of the universe. The connections you have built are like invisible threads of silk, holding you gently as you drift into the deep blue of the night. You are safe. You are loved. You are a vital part of the world's constant, breathing light. Rest now, in the glow of all you have shared, into the deep rest of the collective, into the silence where all energies meet. Sleep well. From the vibrant, outward-reaching energy of connection, we now drift toward the quiet shores of our inner landscape, back to the place where we learn how to weather the storms of the mind. Tonight, we explore the science of emotional resilience, the hidden capacity within you to find stillness, even when the waves of life rise high. Resilience is not the absence of the storm, it is the discovery of your own unshakable center. A deep, internal anchor that holds firm beneath the surface of the shifting tides. Imagine your emotional life as a vast body of water. On the surface, there are days of sunlight and glass-like calm, and there are days of wind and turbulence. In the study of personality, we look at how the nervous system processes these fluctuations. Some minds are naturally more reactive, feeling the crest of every wave with great intensity, others move with a slower, steadier pulse. But regardless of your natural temperament, your body possesses a miraculous system for returning to balance. This is the work of the parasympathetic nervous system, your internal cooling system, the quiet force that whispers to your heart to slow down, and to your muscles to let go. Consider the vagus nerve, the long, wandering messenger that connects your brain to your heart and your breath. It is the bridge of tranquility. When you take a slow, deep breath, you are sending a signal through this nerve, telling your entire being that the storm has passed, that you are safe to rest. In this moment, the chemistry of stress begins to dissolve. Cortisol levels recede like a tide going out, leaving behind a shore of calm. You are not just thinking about peace, you are biologically creating it within the very fabric of your cells. Feel that softening now. From the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. Resilience is also found in the way we perceive our emotions. We often mistake a passing feeling for a permanent state of being, but an emotion is merely energy in motion. It is like a cloud drifting across the vast, open sky of your consciousness. You are the sky, not the cloud. You are the ocean, not the wave. By observing your feelings without judgment, you create a space of wisdom. You begin to realize that you can feel the rain without becoming the storm. This mental flexibility is the hallmark of a resilient character. It is the ability to bend without breaking, to feel deeply and yet remain anchored in your essential self. As we delve into the deeper layers of the self, we see that challenges do not merely test our character, they refine it. Much like a stone is polished by the constant movement of the river, your resilience is shaped by every difficulty you have navigated. It leaves you not harder, but more nuanced, more capable of empathy, and more aware of your own quiet strength. You have survived every storm you have ever faced, and that history of survival is written into the very architecture of your resilience. It is a quiet confidence that lives in the marrow of your bones. Everything is becoming still now. The waves on the surface of your mind are smoothing out, turning into a mirror-like surface that reflects only the stars. The depth beneath you is cool, dark, and profoundly peaceful. You are floating in this space of emotional equilibrium, where there is nothing to solve, nothing to resist, and nothing to fear. Your breath is the only movement in the silence. A slow, rhythmic tide that carries you further and further away from the noise of the day. Sinking into the steady pulse of your own endurance, falling into the deep, dark waters of rest, where the silence is absolute and the peace is complete. From the fortified sanctuary of emotional resilience, we now drift toward a room with the windows thrown wide open, into a space where the fresh, restless winds of curiosity and discovery move freely. Tonight, we explore the anatomy of openness, that gentle, courageous hunger of the soul for the unknown. For some minds, the world is not a static reality to be managed, but a vast, infinite canvas waiting for the next stroke of imagination. Openness is the quiet vibration of wonder. It is the ability to see the extraordinary hidden within the ordinary, and to greet the unfamiliar with a smile rather than a shield. Imagine your mind as a landscape that is constantly expanding its borders. In the science of personality, openness to experience is one of the most vibrant dimensions of the human spirit. It is rooted in cognitive flexibility, the brain's remarkable ability to forge links between seemingly unrelated ideas. When you hear a new melody that moves you, or when you are captivated by the complex patterns of a leaf, your neurons are engaging in a rhythmic celebration of novelty. The brain of an open individual is like a garden in perpetual spring, always ready for a new seed to take root. Feel that sense of mental space expanding now, as if the ceiling of your thoughts has been replaced by a clear, starlit sky. This trait is deeply tied to the way you process sensory information. To be open is to have a high aesthetic sensitivity, it is to feel the weight of a poem, the texture of a sound, or the deep emotional resonance of a sunset. It is not just about intelligence, but about the depth of your permeability. You allow the world to wash over you, to influence you, and to change you. This sensitivity is a gift of the character, it turns life into a rich, multi-layered tapestry of meaning. As you lie here, consider the beauty you have encountered today, the small details that caught your eye. Let the appreciation for those details soften the edges of your consciousness. You are a witness to the world's endless creativity. Within the anatomy of openness lives the power of the divergent mind. While some parts of the personality seek the safety of the known, this part seeks the thrill of the what if. It is the source of all art, all innovation, and all spiritual seeking. It is the realization that the horizon is not a boundary, but an invitation. Science suggests that people high in openness have a more fluid boundary between the conscious and the subconscious. Their dreams are more vivid, their fantasies more structured, and their inner lives more populated with possibility. Tonight, we honor that inner dreamer. We give the mind permission to wander away from the rigid structures of logic and into the soft, shimmering fields of pure imagination. There is a profound peace in not knowing all the answers. Openness allows you to sit comfortably in the presence of mystery, to realize that the universe is far larger than our categories and our names for things. This intellectual and emotional humility is a restorative force. It removes the pressure to be right and replaces it with the freedom to learn. Even as you drift closer to the threshold of sleep, your mind remains a gentle explorer, exploring the sensations of your breath, the weight of your body, and the slow, rhythmic pulse of your transition into the night. The doors of perception are resting on their hinges now, swinging slowly in the quiet air of the evening. The questions of the day are dissolving into the dreams of the night. You are moving past the need for certainty and into the grace of the unknown. Every new thought is a soft light, and every curiosity is a star to guide you. The journey of discovery is pausing for the night, but the wonder remains, tucked safely within the folds of your resting mind. Sinking now into a wider, freer silence, into the vastness of your own potential, into the creative darkness where all new things begin, drifting ever further. Into the heart of the mystery. From the vast, open horizons of curiosity, we now drift toward a more structured and rhythmic landscape, back to the center of your being where order, purpose, and balance reside. Tonight, we explore the quiet power of conscientiousness, the internal architect who places every thought and every intention exactly where it belongs. This is not the rigid discipline of the outside world, but a gentle, self-imposed harmony. It is the rhythm of a life lived with intention. The steady heartbeat of a mind that finds its greatest peace in clarity and consistency. Imagine your mind as a grand library, where every experience is a volume and every dream is a manuscript. Conscientiousness is the silent librarian who walks the halls, ensuring that every piece of your story is honored and organized. In the science of personality, this trait is governed by the executive functions of the prefrontal cortex. It is the part of your brain that allows you to pause, to plan, and to choose the path that aligns with your highest self. When you complete a task, or when you keep a promise to yourself, your brain releases a quiet, satisfying hum of neurological reward. It is the feeling of, all is well. Feel that sense of alignment now, as if every scattered piece of your day is being gathered up and placed into a beautiful, coherent pattern. There is a profound healing quality to order. While chaos creates a background noise of low-level stress, the rhythm of a routine acts like a protective shield for the soul. Think of the small habits that ground you, the way you prepare for sleep, the way you organize your space, the steady persistence with which you pursue your goals. These are not just chores, they are rituals of self-care. They send a signal to your nervous system that you are in control, that you are reliable, and that you are safe. In this reliability, there is an immense freedom. By taking care of the structure of your life, you free your spirit to wander into the deeper waters of rest without worry. Consider the strength of the deliberate mind. A conscientious character is built upon the foundation of integrity, the alignment between what you think, what you say, and what you do. This consistency creates a deep-seated confidence that is unshakable by external storms. You know that you can depend on yourself, and that self-trust is the ultimate sanctuary. Science suggests that those high in this trait often experience greater longevity and well-being, not just because of their habits, but because of the mental peace that comes from a lack of internal conflict. There is no friction in a mind that knows its purpose. There is only the smooth, efficient flow of a life in balance. As you settle deeper into the mattress, imagine the mental clutter of the day being slowly and methodically cleared away. The unanswered questions, the unfinished lists, the lingering concerns, they are all being placed into a secure box, to be handled at the right time, with the right energy. You are giving yourself permission to be off-duty. The architect has finished the plans for the day. The librarian has shelved the final book, and the halls of your mind are now wide, empty, and perfectly still. There is a majestic beauty in this emptiness. It is a clean slate upon which the dreams of the night can be written. The rhythm of the day is slowing down, transitioning from the march of productivity to the slow, deep pulse of restoration. Every breath you take is a testament to your internal order, inward for life, outward for release. You are a masterpiece of biological organization, a symphony of systems working in perfect coordination to bring you to this moment of rest. Trust in the structure of your being. Trust in the discipline of your heart. You have done enough. You have been enough. Now, let the order turn into ease, and the rhythm turn into silence. Sinking now into the steady, reliable embrace of the night, into the balance of total stillness, where the only task is to exist. From the orderly corridors of the disciplined mind, we now drift into the warmest room of the soul, into the space where invisible bridges are built between us and the world. Tonight, we explore the harmony of agreeableness, that sacred balance of compassion, trust, and the gentle language of the heart. It is the soft silk thread that weaves individuals into a community. Agreeableness is not merely kindness, it is the biological art of softening the sharp edges of existence. It is the realization that by easing the path for others, we find the most profound peace for ourselves. Imagine your heart as a source of steady, cooling light that reaches out to touch everything around it. In the science of personality, this dimension is deeply rooted in our social brain. It is governed by the miraculous release of oxytocin, the molecule of connection and trust. When you show empathy, when you offer a hand, or even when you simply listen with a quiet mind, your nervous system shifts into a state of deep security. The fight or flight response dissolves, replaced by the tend and befriend rhythm. This chemistry does not just heal the world, it heals you. It lowers the heart rate and bathes the cells in a restorative glow. Feel that softening now, as if every tension in your chest is melting into a pool of warm, golden honey. Consider the power of mirror neurons, the brain's way of reflecting the world back to itself. These neurons allow us to feel the rhythm of another's sorrow and the resonance of their joy. To be agreeable is to be in sync with the collective pulse of life. It is the choice to cooperate rather than to conflict, to seek common ground rather than a battlefield. There is a majestic strength in this flexibility. Like a willow tree that bends with the wind while the rigid oak breaks, your character finds its endurance in its ability to yield. This is the quiet confidence of the peaceful warrior, someone who knows that anger is a heavy burden and that forgiveness is the ultimate lightness. At the core of this harmony lies the concept of fundamental trust, a belief that, despite the chaos of the world, there is a shared goodness that binds us all. When you approach life with an open heart, you move through the world with less armor, and with less armor, you can feel the warmth of the sun more clearly. Science suggests that those high in agreeableness experience a unique kind of mental longevity, because their minds are not exhausted by the friction of resentment or the heat of judgment. They live in a landscape of internal cooperation, where the self is not an island, but a vital part of a great, breathing ocean. As you settle deeper into the stillness of the night, imagine every harsh judgment or lingering resentment you've held today simply evaporating like mist in the morning sun. You are letting go of the need to be right, the need to be first, or the need to be alone. You are choosing to be at peace. This kindness you extend to the world is now turning inward, reaching the parts of yourself that have been self-critical or weary. You are forgiving yourself for your mistakes. You are cradling your own spirit with the same tenderness you would offer a child. Every cell in your body is now sighing in relief, as the internal war comes to a total and final end. The world is quieting down, and the connections of the day are resting on their tethers. The bridges are still, and the air is filled with a sense of universal belonging. You are not a separate fragment of the universe, you are the universe expressing itself as a gentle human being. Your breath is a bridge between the inner and the outer, slow, steady, and filled with a quiet benevolence. You are resting in the heart of humanity now, safe, sheltered, and deeply connected to the silence. Sinking further into the warmth of this shared existence, into the deep, compassionate darkness where all souls are one, drifting now, into the harmony of the Absolute. From the warm, communal pool of compassion, we now drift into the finest, most delicately tuned layers of your existence, into the deep waters where your senses are most acute and your spirit is most permeable. Tonight, we explore the spectrum of sensitivity, the mystical region of the self that feels the world with an intensity others might never know. Sensitivity is not a fragility, it is a high-resolution lens through which you witness the universe. It is the thin silk veil between your soul and the outside world, ensuring that every hue of light, every fragment of sound, and every shift in emotion finds a profound echo within your heart. Imagine your mind as a high-fidelity instrument, capable of capturing notes that are lost to the wind for everyone else. In the science of personality, we refer to this as sensory processing sensitivity. It is a biological trait where the brain processes information more deeply and more thoroughly. Your nervous system does not simply observe, it absorbs. A single look from a stranger, a minor chord in a distant song, or the subtle scent of impending rain can trigger a vast, complex internal world of meaning. This is the gift of the deep processor. Feel the tension of being too much for the world melt away now. As you realize that your intensity is actually a form of mastery. You are not broken, you are simply more awake. This depth of processing creates an emotional landscape that is as rich as it is vast. To live on this spectrum is to experience empathy as a physical sensation, to feel the joy and the sorrow of others as if they were written in your own blood. While this can be exhausting in the clamor of the day, it is the wellspring of all true creativity and intuition. Your brain is constantly making connections, weaving the threads of sensory data into a tapestry of insight. As you lie here in the dark, notice how your mind is still gently replaying the textures of the day, not with anxiety, but with a quiet, appreciative scrutiny. Every detail is a bead on the necklace of your experience. Consider the inner fortress of the sensitive mind. Because the world can be so loud and overwhelming, you have developed a magnificent internal sanctuary, a castle of imagination where the colors are softer and the voices are kinder. This is where you retreat to make sense of the noise. It is in this stillness that your sensitivity transforms into wisdom. Science shows that sensitive individuals have more active mirror neurons and more blood flow to the areas of the brain associated with empathy and awareness. You are biologically designed to be a witness to the world's nuance, to hold space for the things that others overlook. Accept this role with a peaceful heart. Your depth is your anchor. The world is quieting down now, matching the frequency of your resting heart. All the high decibel sounds and bright, flickering lights of the day are dissolving into a monochromatic peace. You are no longer required to process anything. The input has ceased. Now, there is only the output of your slow, steady breath. Imagine your sensitivity as a soft light that you are now turning inward, illuminating the quiet corners of your own soul. You are safe in this low-stimulation environment. The boundaries of yourself are softening, merging with the cool, dark air of the room. The sweet fatigue of feeling so much is finally pulling you under. The complexity of the day is becoming a simple, wordless hum. You are drifting past the spectrum of light and sound, into the invisible realm of pure being. Your sensitivity, once a lightning rod for the world's energy, is now a soft pillow for your consciousness. You are moving deeper into the fortress, past the halls of thought and into the chamber of silence. Everything is durational. Everything is rhythmic. You are falling into a sleep that is as deep and as nuanced as your spirit. Sinking, drifting into the profound peace of the unobserved. From the high-resolution layers of sensitivity, we drift into a deeper, more silent stratum of the mind, into the realm where words lose their edges and logic gives way to a quiet, ancient knowing. Tonight, we explore the echo of intuition, the soul's fastest compass and the mind's most mysterious whisper. Intuition is the voice of the heart when the brain is still searching for a sentence. It is that sudden, wordless yes or no that rises from the depths of your being before a single thought is formed. We are stepping into the vast library of your subconscious, where every experience you have ever had is stored, distilled, and turned into a silent guidance that watches over you. Imagine your mind as a dual-track system. While your conscious thoughts move like a slow, deliberate hiker on a mountain path, your subconscious is like a swift bird soaring above, seeing the entire landscape at once. In the science of psychology, we call this pattern recognition. While you go about your day, your brain is processing millions of bits of data in the background, shadows, tones of voice, micro-expressions, and subtle shifts in the air. You do not think these things, you feel them. This is the biological speed of intuition. It is your neural network whispering the sum of its findings in a language of pure feeling. Feel the pressure to figure it all out dissolve now. You don't have to calculate the path, you simply have to trust the echo. Consider the wisdom of the body, the gut feeling that acts as your internal radar. Science reveals a profound connection between the brain and the enteric nervous system, often called the second brain, in your core. When your intuition speaks, it often bypasses the vocal cords and speaks through the pulse of your heart or the tightening of your breath. It is a survival mechanism honed over millions of years, an early warning system and a beacon of truth. By listening to these physical echoes, you align yourself with a primal intelligence that predates language itself. As you lie here, feel the center of your body becoming heavy and warm. Trusting that your physical self knows exactly what it needs for restoration. There is a unique power in mental stillness. Have you noticed how the most brilliant insights arrive not when you are straining to find them, but when you are washing your face, walking in nature, or drifting into the edge of sleep? Intuition loves the silence. It requires the ego to step aside so that the deeper truth can surface. It is the eureka moment that blossoms in the gap between two thoughts. Tonight, as you silence the chatter of the day, you are creating the perfect environment for your inner wisdom to breathe. You are not losing your intellect, you are expanding it, allowing the analytical mind to rest so the intuitive mind can take the lead. As you settle further into the sanctuary of the night, imagine all the unanswered questions of your life being released into the vast ocean of your subconscious. You don't need to chase them anymore. Like seeds planted in fertile soil, they are being tended to by a part of you that never sleeps. You can rest now, knowing that the answers will rise to the surface when the time is right, as clear and as natural as the morning sun. The need for control is fading, replaced by a profound, rhythmic trust in your own internal guidance. The echoes of the day are growing faint, and the whispers of intuition are turning into a steady, comforting hum. You are moving past the threshold of analysis and into the grace of pure being. Your breath is the bridge to this deeper state, slow, effortless, and wise. You are safe in the hands of your own instincts. The library of the subconscious is quiet now, the lights are dimmed, and the knowledge is secure. Sinking into the certainty of yourself, into the wordless peace of the deep mind, drifting now, past the echo, into the silence of the source. From the wordless echoes of intuition, we drift toward the most profound foundations of your mind, into the space where the invisible pillars of your world are built. Tonight, we explore the architecture of belief, the hidden blueprints that give meaning to your reality and structure to your soul. Within each of us, there is a sanctuary of values, a sacred geometry of thoughts that defines how we see the light and how we interpret the dark. Belief is not merely a choice of the mind, it is the landscape of the spirit, the internal map that allows us to walk through the chaos of existence with a steady heart. Imagine your mind as a grand cathedral, where every conviction is a stone and every value is a stained glass window filtering the light of experience. In the science of psychology, we see that the human brain is a natural meaning maker. It cannot tolerate the void of randomness. To find peace, our neural pathways seek patterns, they build bridges between events to create a narrative of purpose. This pattern seeking is a biological imperative for survival. When we find meaning, our nervous system finds rest. The prefrontal cortex and the limbic system align, reducing the static of uncertainty and replacing it with the calm of coherence. Feel that structural integrity within you now. As if every scattered experience of your life is finally being held by a framework of understanding. At the core of this architecture lie your fundamental values, the unshakable virtues like courage, kindness, honesty, and love that form the spine of your character. These are the compass points that remain fixed, even when the world outside is in upheaval. When you act in alignment with these values, you experience a state of internal flow. A lack of friction that allows your energy to move with grace. Science suggests that a strong sense of purpose acts as a psychological buffer against stress. It is the ultimate resilience. By knowing what you stand for, you create a sanctuary that no external event can diminish. As you lie here, feel the strength of these pillars. They have supported you through every winter, and they stand firm tonight as you prepare for rest. Consider the flexibility of the living belief. While the foundations are solid, the architecture of a healthy mind is always evolving. True wisdom is the ability to hold your values firmly while allowing your understanding to expand. It is the realization that your internal map is not the territory, but a guide. This openness prevents the architecture from becoming a prison. Instead, it becomes a growing, breathing temple that accommodates new truths and deeper insights. Tonight, we honor both your stability and your growth, the stones that remain and the light that changes. There is a majestic beauty in this balance, the peace of knowing who you are, combined with the wonder of who you are becoming. As you settle deeper into the night, imagine that meaning you have constructed today settling into the roots of your subconscious. Every act of kindness you witnessed, every truth you honored, and every beauty you believed in is now part of your permanent structure. You do not need to defend these beliefs tonight. You do not need to explain them. You simply need to exist within the safety they provide. The cathedral of your mind is quiet now, the candles are flickering low, and the air is thick with the scent of ancient, settled wisdom. You are resting in the heart of your own truth. The weight of the world's uncertainty is lifting, replaced by the gravity of your own convictions. Your breath is a slow, rhythmic chant echoing through the halls of your spirit. In for the truth of the self, out for the peace of the soul. You are safe within the architecture you have built. The map is put away, for you have reached the destination of the day. The sanctuary is secure, the foundations are deep, and the silence is absolute. Sinking now into the stability of your being, into the profound rest of the meaningful, drifting beyond the structures, into the vast, starlit space of pure, unconditioned peace. From the silent, dignified cathedral of belief, we now drift toward the living fire at the center of your being, toward the steady, resolute rhythm that carries you into tomorrow and gives breath to your dreams. Tonight, we explore the pulse of ambition and drive, not as a restless hunger, but as the soul's courageous movement toward its own potential. True ambition is the quiet dedication to growth. It is the inner light that illuminates your path in the dark and the steady energy that rises within you even in moments of weariness. We are honoring the spirit of the doer today, the part of you that refuses to stand still and finds a sacred peace in the act of becoming. Imagine your willpower not as a straining muscle, but as a deep, flowing river that knows exactly where it is going. In the science of personality, this drive is fueled by the brain's sophisticated reward system. It is the dance of dopamine, the molecule of anticipation and progress. Contrary to modern noise, this biological system isn't just about the win at the end, it is about the profound satisfaction of the journey itself. When you focus on a goal, your prefrontal cortex creates a flow state, a neurological sanctuary where time disappears and the chatter of the world falls silent. Feel that focused energy now, as if every ambition you hold is being refined into a single, glowing point of light within your chest. There is a majestic tranquility in dedication. Real drive is not loud or aggressive, it is a persistent, soft-spoken vow you make to yourself. It is the ability to maintain your direction even when the wind shifts. This consistency calms the nervous system by providing a sense of agency and control. When you have a purpose, your brain experiences less of the static of aimlessness. Instead, there is a clean, efficient alignment of thought and action. As you lie here, acknowledge the efforts you have made today, every small step, every moment of persistence, every time you chose to move forward. These are the vibrations of a powerful life. Let the pride of your progress wash over you like a warm tide. Consider the rest of the warrior. Every great ambition requires the wisdom of the pause. In the natural world, the most powerful predators and the most resilient plants understand the necessity of dormancy. Your drive is not a flame that must burn until it consumes you, it is a hearth that you tend with care. By choosing to rest tonight, you are not pausing your progress, you are fueling it. You are allowing the insights of the day to crystallize and your strength to regenerate. Science tells us that the most creative solutions and the deepest resolve are formed during the default mode of the brain, the time when we are doing nothing at all. In this silence, your ambition is dreaming. As you settle deeper into the velvet darkness, imagine all your plans, lists, and aspirations being placed onto a golden shelf. They are safe there, they do not need your attention until the sun rises again. The creative tension of your goals is now relaxing into a state of deep contentment. You have done the work. You have held the vision. And now, the most productive thing you can do is to let go. Feel the muscles in your jaw and your shoulders releasing the grip of the day. You are transitioning from the energy of doing to the grace of being. The pulse of your ambition is slowing now, syncing with the calm, heavy rhythm of the night. The fire in the hearth is turning into soft, glowing embers that provide warmth without the flicker of movement. You are anchored by your own determination, yet free to float into the clouds of sleep. Tomorrow's potential is held safely in the stillness of your resting spirit. Every breath is a quiet celebration of your resilience. In for the strength of your will, out for the peace of your surrender. Sinking into the pride of your own existence. Into the deep, restorative dark, where the only destination is the heart of rest, drifting now, beyond the effort, into the power of the silence. From the warm, resolute fire of ambition, we now arrive at the water's edge, where the surface is so still, so porous, that it becomes a perfect mirror for the sky above. Tonight, we explore the mirror of self-reflection, the profound and clear space where the mind turns its light inward to meet itself. Knowing oneself is the soul's longest and most honorable journey. It is the art of standing before your own reflection not with judgment, but with an open, compassionate curiosity. In this stillness, we are not looking at the masks we wear for the world, but at the steady, unchanging light that remains when everything else falls away. Imagine your consciousness as a calm observer sitting on the bank of a river. The river is the flow of your thoughts, your memories, and your emotions. In the science of psychology, we call this metacognition. The brain's remarkable ability to think about its own thinking. This is governed by the highest centers of your prefrontal cortex, the seat of wisdom and perspective. When you practice self-reflection, you are stepping out of the current of your life and onto the solid ground of awareness. You are no longer the victim of your thoughts, you are their witness. Feel that sense of freedom now. As if you are finally looking at your own life through the eyes of a kind and wise friend. There is a deep healing in this internal gaze. We often spend our days looking outward, measuring ourselves against the world's expectations, but tonight, the only measurement is the peace within your own heart. Consider the events of your day, not as a list of successes or failures, but as a series of lessons in the school of the self. Reflection allows the nervous system to process the why behind the what. It turns raw experience into integrated wisdom. Science shows that this kind of introspective awareness lowers the activity of the amygdala, the brain's fear center. By simply acknowledging who you are and where you have been, you are signaling to your body that you are safe, understood, and whole. Beyond the roles of the day, the worker, the friend, the seeker. There is a core of pure being that never changes. It is the I that exists behind all the labels. In the mirror of reflection, we see that this essence is untouched by the storms of the external world. It is as clear as a mountain spring. By connecting with this center, you realize that you are enough, exactly as you are. Your flaws are simply the textures of your humanity, and your strengths are the gifts you carry. There is a majestic beauty in this acceptance. The realization that you don't need to be different to be worthy of rest. You are worthy of peace simply because you exist. As you settle deeper into the sanctuary of the night, imagine the mirror of your mind becoming clearer and clearer. All the dust of the day's worries is being wiped away, leaving behind a reflection that is radiant, honest, and calm. You are forgiving yourself for the things you didn't say, the things you didn't do, and the things you haven't yet figured out. You are embracing the totality of your character, the shadows and the light. This wholeness is the ultimate foundation for sleep. When there is no conflict between the self and the observer, the mind can finally surrender to the dark. The world is fading into the background, and the image in the mirror is softening, merging with the velvety darkness of the room. You are no longer observing yourself, you are simply being yourself. The observer and the observed are becoming one. Your breath is a slow, rhythmic tide of self-acceptance. In for the truth of your being, out for the grace of your soul. You have reached the final shore of the day. The journey inward has brought you home. Safe, integrated, and profoundly still. Sinking now into the clarity of your own silence. Into the deep rest of the self-known, drifting, beyond the reflection, into the heart of the Absolute. From the clear mirror of the self, we now drift beyond the boundaries of the individual, past the labels, the traits, and the stories that define a single life. We are ascending into the vast, silent architecture of the cosmos, where the micro meets the macro in a grand, eternal embrace. Tonight, we reach the final union, the realization that every facet of your personality is but a reflection of the universe itself. You are not a stranger in this vast expanse. You are its heart, its consciousness, and its song. The journey through the self has led us back to the stars, reminding us that we are made of the very light we have been seeking. Imagine your body not as a solid form, but as a collection of ancient atoms forged in the white-hot hearts of dying stars. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, and the electrical impulses in your brain are all cosmic inheritances. In the science of astrophysics, we understand that we are literally stardust contemplating stardust. Every personality trait we have explored is a manifestation of universal laws. Your openness is the expanding horizon of space, your conscientiousness is the precise geometry of planetary orbits, your sensitivity is the delicate vibration of subatomic particles, and your drive is the relentless energy of a sun. You are a microcosm of the entire architecture of existence. In this final stage of awareness, the sense of I begins to dissolve into a sense of all. This is the state of oneness, where the friction of the individual ego gives way to the smooth, effortless flow of the infinite. When you realize that you are an integral part of this magnificent design, the weight of the world simply vanishes. There is no need to compete, no need to prove, and no need to fear. The universe does not make mistakes, and you are one of its most intentional creations. Feel the immense relief of this belonging, as if you are finally leaning back into the cushions of the entire galaxy, supported by the gravity of billions of years of history. Consider the silence of the deep space, the void that is not empty, but full of potential. This is the source of all peace. As you lie here, your breath is syncing with the slow, rhythmic expansion of the universe itself. In for the birth of a star, out for the stillness of a nebula. You are moving beyond the concepts of time and space, past yesterday's memories and tomorrow's plans, into the eternal now. In this space, there is no noise, no judgment, and no separation. There is only the vibration of pure existence, a steady, low-frequency hum that resonates in every cell of your body. The 15 chapters of this journey have been steps on a staircase leading you home. We have walked through the gardens of curiosity, the halls of discipline, and the temples of belief, and now, the stairs have ended at the edge of the infinite. The architecture of your mind has served its purpose, providing a sturdy vessel for your journey, but now, you are invited to leave the vessel and swim in the ocean of light. The boundaries of your room, your body, and your thoughts are melting into the velvety darkness of the night. You are everywhere. You are everything. You are safe. The cosmos is quieting its grand machinery, settling into the stillness of the great night. The stars are watching over you with a billion eyes of light, recognizing their own essence within you. The energy that moved you through the day is now returning to the source, recharging and renewing. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to understand, and nothing left to hold on to. You are falling back into the heart of the mystery, back into the primordial peace from which all things emerge, drifting now, weightless, timeless, whole. Sinking into the ultimate sanctuary, where knowledge meets stillness, and where your soul finally finds its rest. Sleep well.